The reference for this lecture is Martin Rebellion, 2012. Why don't we see poverty convergence? In the American Economic Review, 102, Volume 1, pages 504 to 523.
The previous section gives the hypothesis that initial poverty stops poverty convergence. In this section, we see how the author derives the poverty convergence equation from the income convergence equation and the growth elasticity of poverty equation. Rest of this section systematically presents the empirical testing of these three equations and the equations that incorporate other important variables and discuss as the methodology is used and the results that summarily proves how the initial poverty prevents poverty convergence. If the economies that start off with low per capita income grow faster than the economies that start off rich, the world's poor economies catch up with the rich. This property of catch up is called convergence. Unconditional convergence is indicated by a strong negative relationship between the initial value of per capita income and the subsequent growth rates in per capita income. The unconditional convergence is tested without any control variables. Conditional convergence is the one where convergence is seen among the countries with similar conditions such as rate of savings, population growth, and other parameters. Conditional convergence is tested with the control variables. In the literature, unconditional convergence is rarely found, but conditional convergence is more common. Rebellion illustrates the assumptions made in the literature on convergence that expect the country to have poverty convergence. Convergence can be tested over time. Literature where the initial poverty is not included in the equation, the possibility of convergence is strong. The typical mean income convergence equation regresses the initial mean income on income growth of a country. If the coefficient of the initial mean turns out to be negative and significant, we can say that convergence would occur. Normally, the variables are in log form. Delta ln mu it is equal to alpha I plus beta I ln mu it 1 plus epsilon. Mu is the overall mean income of the ith country in the tth period. Delta ln mu it is the growth rate of mean income and ln uit 1 is the log of the initial mean income, where alpha I is the country specific constant and beta I is the country specific convergence parameter. It simply means that lower the initial level of income, higher will be the growth rate. Hence, the expected sign of beta is negative. The second equation tests the elasticity of poverty reduction with respect to mean income per capita. In the second equation, we regress the initial mean income on the current poverty ratio. ln HIT is equal to delta I plus eta I ln mu it plus epsilon it, where HIT is the equals to log of headcount ratio of poverty. Delta I is country specific effect and eta I is the country specific elasticity of poverty with respect to mean income. The elasticity is expected to be negative. Poverty falls as mean income increases over a period. These two equations simply imply poverty convergence. The third poverty convergence equation is derived from these two previous equations, 1 and 2. The third regresses the initial poverty on change in poverty, just as we regress the initial income on growth of income. The variables in the equation are in log form, as in the case of income convergence equation. Delta ln HIT is equal to alpha I star plus beta I star ln HIT 1 plus epsilon I. The star and the coefficient in this equation indicates that it is derived from the previous two equations. The relationship is given in the article and in the PowerPoint slides. If the parameters of alpha I, beta I, eta I, and delta I vary across the countries independently of the initial poverty, the speed of convergence measure of poverty beta I in the equation 3 is the same as the mean convergence measure beta I in the equation 1. Partial derivatives of change in poverty to initial poverty in logarithms and the partial derivatives of change in income to the initial income in logarithms will be the same. After establishing the expectation of poverty convergence, which is a corollary of the income convergence and poverty reducing nature of the growth, Ravellian proceeds to test his hypothesis with the data. By applying the convergence equation, unconditional and conditional, to the data of the countries, Ravellian found a significant convergence in mean incomes, significant elasticity of poverty reduction with respect to mean income, but the poverty convergence was insignificant. Conditional convergence was estimated by regressing initial mean income and control variables in the log form on the growth of the mean income. Gi mu it is equal to alpha plus beta ln uit minus tau plus gamma ln xit minus tau and epsilon it. Growth in mean income is a function of a log of mean income in the initial period and a set of control variables x in the log form represented by life expectancy, primary school enrollment rates, and relative price index of investment goods taken from Penn World tables in the initial period using the log linear specification. Relative price index of investment goods is expected to represent market distortions in the country. Three different estimates give convergence parameters for three alternate sets of data. The first data set consists of all country surveys for which either income or consumption mean is available from household surveys. The second data set consists of all the countries for which mean consumption is available from household surveys. The third data set consists of all countries for which data on mean consumption comes from national account statistics. The results show that conditional convergence parameters beta turned significant for all the three different measures of mean, while unconditional parameter was significant only at 10% level for consumption mean and significant at 1% level for the full sample. Next, Ravellian tests the income convergence equation controlling for initial headcount ratio. He finds that higher growth rates are associated with higher poverty reduction. Growth in poverty, when regressed on income growth, elasticity of poverty reduction was negative and significant. This is growth advantage. Gi mu it is equal to alpha plus beta I gi hit for epsilon it. The data shows larger poverty reduction when the mean expenditure per capita growth is high. Coefficient value of minus 1.085 was significant at 1% level, and the value of R square was 0.322. When the poverty line used was $2, we lower the poverty line to 1.25. The elasticity goes up to minus 1.38. Then Ravellian tests for poverty convergence from the scatter diagram when x-axis represents log of initial poverty and y-axis represents annualized poverty growth. It was clear that there was no poverty convergence. By fitting the equation 3, Ravellian found that poverty convergence parameter was not significant. For $1.25 level of poverty, conditional convergence parameter was minus 0.25 and not significant even at 10% level. Well, poverty is reduced with growth and conditional mean income convergence exists. The rate of reduction in poverty does not match the rate of growth of mean income, which is required for poverty convergence. Trevelyan explains the reasons for lack of poverty convergence, mainly in terms of initial poverty dampening the growth rates in mean incomes and elasticity of poverty reduction with respect to mean growth being low. The rest of the article concentrates on proving the two propositions with the help of the data. Trevelyan starts with the standard specification and then tested the robustness of the impact of initial poverty and income growth using other specifications. The standard specification regresses the initial mean income and the initial poverty in log form on growth in income. G mu it is equal to alpha plus beta ln mu it minus tau and gamma ln hit minus tau and epsilon. In this specification, initial mean and initial poverty are assumed to be exogenous. The results show that initial poverty rate has significant substantial dampening effect on the growth rate of mean income. Initial poverty has a negative association with growth rate of mean incomes. Survey data estimates use poverty ratio of US dollars 2 and national account statistics data uses poverty ratio of US dollars 1.25. The lower poverty definition gives the estimation with lower coefficient and lower R square. One standard deviation increase in initial poverty reduces the growth rate by 2.5%. Poverty effect on growth is stronger on mean consumption growth. Use of poverty gap ratio and its long form show significant negative coefficients for initial poverty, supporting the hypothesis proposed by Trevelyan. Other functional forms and alternate specifications did not have a good fit as that of the log linear specification, but the coefficients were significant and conclusions did not change. Use of intertemporal averages support the robustness of the hypothesis. When middle year income, mean income, and middle year poverty of 3 surveys available for the countries replaces initial mean and initial poverty, and the growth in mean consumption represents the middle surveys and to the last survey, the conclusions do not change. The specification is given in the slide. He also tests the influence of variables other than the initial poverty on mean income growth. Initial poverty had negative effect on mean growth rate even after adding initial inequality as the additional explanatory variable. The coefficient of initial inequality represented by Gini index turns insignificant. Thus, Trevelyan establishes that initial poverty is more important than income inequality. Trevelyan estimated the equation adding more explanatory variables in addition to the initial mean income, initial headcount ratio, and initial Gini index. He alternately added the 3 types of middle class measures we had elaborated earlier, along with the control variables in the log form. Past literature emphasized the importance of middle class for economic growth, and the middle class variables are expected to be positively associated with income growth. In contrast, in Trevelyan's estimation, the income shares of the 3 middle class quintiles and the share of the middle class and the rich in total population turn out to be adverse, showing negative relationship with the controlled initial poverty and initial mean income. Miser index becomes insignificant. Among control variables, life expectancy had a significant positive influence on growth. The initial poverty has significant negative influence on growth of developing countries in all the specifications, but only after controlling for mean income. Use of initial poverty in the log form might be conjectured as a misspecification of the convergence theory. It is because it is a non-linear function of mean income. Trevelyan also estimated the specification using the cubic function of the initial mean, but did not find it useful. Various measures of poverty, such as the poverty gap index and log of poverty gap index used alternately were as significant as the headcount ratio. Poverty measure of the headcount ratio below US $2 appears to give consistent results. When both $1.25 and $2 poverty measures are used together, the coefficient for $2 turns out to be significant. This was tested, though there was a multicollinearity problem, just to find out the strength of the variable used. Interaction effect of initial poverty and inequality or initial poverty with mean income were not significant in the specification 4. For 70 countries for which at least 3 surveys were available, growth rates between middle and last survey rounds are regressed on mean and distributional variables of the middle round. The variables for the earliest round were used as instrument variables in the generalized method of movements estimation, GMM estimation. Initial poverty and initial income are excluded from the main equation. GMM enables the use of instrument variables and typically used when the cross-section and time series are combined as panel data and contain lagged variables which are endogenous. 2 models of GMM were estimated, one for survey data and the other for consumption data from the National Account Statistics. In both the models, the initial poverty had significant negative influence on growth and mean income. The results show significance of initial mean income and the initial poverty ratio as in the standard specification. Equation 6 gives the GMM specification. The symbol tau I represents the length of the survey spell 1 or 2 in the equation 6. The equation 6, log of mean income and log of poverty ratio in period 2 were regressed on income growth. Fixed effect specification of 3 surveys across the countries as a panel was also tested. Fixed effect specification is ideal to catch time variant heterogeneity in growth rates. While the initial mean income turns out to be significant, the initial poverty measure becomes insignificant in the model. Time varying measurement errors in growth appear to be high in the data, rendering the fixed effects model non-applicable. The log linear specification seemed to be better than the fixed effects specification. Trevelyan also tested the regional effects. Sub-Saharan Africa and East Asia dummies were introduced to find out the regional effects. Against the expected positive regional effect of East Asia and negative regional effect of Sub-Saharan Africa, the study found that the regional dummies were insignificant.